I shut down my old company and now I'm focusing on this. And what is this? It's this new production company and distribution company. So I kind of want to start from the beginning, or well, I should say the end of my last company, which is a talent management company. As you guys know, I talk about, managing actors for the last 10 years. I started back in 2015, so a long time ago. And, I started the company like a startup in a lot of ways from zero. I started with my brother as the first actor and then quickly had a couple, but basically had 7 actors to start. And it was a big learning experience. The first 2 3 years especially were very steep and a lot of grinding to get it going type of thing. But through the years we grew it. Eventually we had 2 other talent managers that worked for me. We had about 60 clients at the height and 4 series regulars, including on Apple TV, on Netflix, as well as some of the network TV shows. So it took a long time to grow that. So kind of finishing it was, I'd say, bittersweet, because I managed a lot of people that I was very close to. I managed a lot of my friends, actually. So it was very hard to kind of put an end to this. But I also feel that it was the right decision, because I already felt for the past 2 years or so that I was kind of not enjoying it anymore. I wasn't looking forward to it as much anymore. There weren't many aspects of it anymore that I was enjoying, and the challenge for me was kind of gone. And then the big thing was that it's very much out of your control, a lot of things. And I think that's, at least for me, one of the most frustrating parts of talent management is kind of how you're waiting around a lot, in the sense that, yes, you're working, you're pitching and stuff, and you're getting auditions, but just because you get the most amazing auditions doesn't mean that, you're booking those or that your company is growing. So it can be very frustrating to not have that in your control. Like sometimes when things go great, all of a sudden you have a bunch of series regulars, and that's amazing, and you're like, okay, company is growing. But then all of a sudden, let's say, especially nowadays, which seasons being a lot shorter than they used to be, let's say all of a sudden 2 shows end, or 3 shows, and all of a sudden you have one actor left as a series regular, and it can feel kind of like restarting, because you're like, oh damn, now I got just this one, and yes, I have all these clients that have good resume and everything, but there's a lot of uncertainty always in that way. Very similar to honestly an actor's career, right? As an actor, you have a lot of uncertainty, you deal with a lot of uncertainty, because you just never know when the jobs are coming, and a lot of actors talk about that. So I think for me, I at the end, I started getting kind of sick of that, especially with my type of personality. I do want to feel like I'm progressing, that I'm moving forward, that I'm growing a thing, but I want to be in control of that. So that was one reason. And then the other reason was that it's not super creative, and I feel like I've felt myself being pulled towards more creativity as the years have gone along. And talent management, for the most part, is not that creative unless you're also producing, which is what I started doing about 3 years ago. While I was doing that, while I was starting to produce, I was like, oh, I'm enjoying this way more than the talent management, because it's also creative. It kind of is the best of both worlds. Like, you're using a lot of your business skills in terms of logistics, problem solving, everything really, but you also get to be creative as well. So I think for me it was the best of both worlds, and I think that was missing for me in purely talent management, because as a talent manager you're taking meetings and everything and pitching, but you're honestly spending most of your time on the emails, breakdowns, trying to pitch and submitting, and it's a lot of computer work, which obviously most jobs are, or a lot of jobs are, but it's not very creative. So to me, I think I was getting kind of sick of that too. I wanted something more creative in my life, and that's kind of what attracted me to production. So when I produced for the first time a full feature, I was like, oh, this is awesome, this is really fun. It was very chaotic, and it had its stresses in a different way, but it never felt the same type of stress as other things I've done in my life, because I've done a lot of different businesses, and I've worked in car logistics, short-term rentals, social media marketing, and honestly, for me, production was the least stressful. Not the least hectic, definitely the most hectic, because like 12 hours, you're on your feet, you're problem solving the whole day. So I'd say in a way it's more intense, but I kind of like that. But the stress doesn't feel the same for me because it's a good type of stress, in my opinion, because you're still making a movie. I think for me, like at the end of the day, you're still making a movie. You're still doing something creative. You're creating something. And most of the time, at least if you hire correctly or you have the right people on your team, you're working with people that are pursuing a dream, that are pursuing their dream career, that are, trying to make films because they love films, ideally. You know what I mean? And that's why I got into this industry too. One of the reasons is because I love films. I still do. I still watch multiple films in a week. I watch a bunch of indie films. So as I got into production, I started doing that, and I started just really loving it. So I think knowing all that, I think I realized for a while already that talent management wasn't what I was meant to do, or not even the best fit for my skill set, and most importantly, not what I'm passionate about or excited about anymore. So that's why I decided to close the talent management down. And it was really hard, especially, some of the conversations with friends and everything. It's, obviously you never look forward to those conversations. But for the most part, most people were very supportive, and I think that's awesome. So I think it was the right step. And, since that happened, it's just cleared up so much energy. And I think I would almost wish I would have done it earlier, because I didn't realize, even when you're not working as many hours on something, if something's pulling your energy in a different direction, it does take energy away from what you maybe want to be pursuing. Now that that's cleared up, I do feel like more inspired, more creative, more energetic. And the last 6 months, I've been able to push things much faster and further than the past year and a half. So I think that's something that I'm really excited about. And that's why I'm excited that I did close my company, that aspect of it, talent management. And I've really fully switched to filmmaking and also distribution. To me, I always want to add distribution, especially as I start selling films, because I think if you're in control or you know what you're doing with distribution, it just intertwines with your filmmaking career. You need it to, I think, to have a sustainable career, and I think you have the most control that way. And I always wanted that. Plus, I wanted another stream of income that was more steady, because production can be very unsteady again. So I didn't want to put all my eggs in that basket. So I'm creating this distribution thing that we've been working on. We have like 5 films right now that we're selling, and we've done really well. We've so far got minimum guarantees for all of them, which is, for small indies, pretty unheard of right now. So I'm really proud of that, and I think we're doing a much better job than most sales agents do. And I think, in terms of next steps, I want to grow that out more. That's starting to grow more organically now as well, through word of mouth. But I think, next steps is keep doing the production. We have a film in December that we're shooting. That one I'm directing, which I'm excited about. I also want to open basically distribution open. So very similar to the sales agency thing, but I want to be able to distribute myself. I just think there's so many distribution companies that aren't very good. Shady deals, bad deals, no marketing, no social media presence. So all things that I want to do differently. So that's why I want to start that up. It's something I've been working on for the last 2-3 months, more in terms of setting it up, the idea behind it, but that's pretty close to launch, and that I think that's going to be awesome. And just kind of like A24 did, they started as a distribution company and then start doing more producing and production. And that's kind of like what I want to do as well. I want to have that as well to help with that. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. And you're always working on the production stuff, but the production stuff, you're always in different stages of everything. Like we have one film where we have a lot of attachments, where we're getting closer, but maybe we're only shooting somewhere in the beginning of 26. So there's a lot of waiting around that way. And then we have another project that's early still, that's still being developed. And then we have the one in December that's much closer to being shot. So it's kind of spread out, but you never, I'd say, you kind of switch from project to project. You're not like intensely working on one the whole time. So I'm excited about that. It's really fun for me. I hope to continue growing that and growing the distribution. So I'd say, if you have a film that's finished, definitely reach out to me. You can go on my website or my email that I have below. We take pitches, and I don't take a lot of films on because my goal is to really curate, and I want the brand to feel that we have good taste, obviously, and obviously that's subjective, but I want it to be what I am passionate about and films that I believe in. And I think it's already been helping. Like the distributors that we reach out to, all of them are like, oh, send me more films, because they know I'm not sending them trash. You know what I mean? I think there's some sales agents that have like 30 films at a time, and they are just throwing some movies that they don't even believe in, aren't very good. And problem is, those distributors eventually start ignoring that person or barely look at the film. So I want to grow build a reputation, be seen as, you know, a curated distribution company. Same with the production. And I think to have a sustainable career and to make the project I want to make, that's essential. So that's what I'm excited about. So very happy, well, bittersweet happy to have closed that side of my life. That was 10 years. I did release a book recently on 4Actors because I did want to put all of everything that I've learned the last 10 years in there. That link is in the bio as well. So I'm glad I did that because I do feel like there's a lot I learned that helps actors, but I'm also ready to move on from that. And that's what I'm doing now. And with these videos, I want to kind of keep you guys updated, kind of what I'm learning and everything along the way. So please subscribe, you know, leave a comment if there's any questions. I will also gladly make videos on questions that you guys have because I'm always looking for topics that people are interested in. Anyway, thanks. I'll see you guys next week.